this 1st of April, the Rangers were fooled into thinking that a 29-point gap in the standings and a backup goalie might predict the outcome of the game. But over 60 minutes, the Penguins were hungrier, and they emerged with a 5-2 win over the Rangers on Garden Ice. Welcome inside our Delta MSG studios alongside Henrik Lundqvist and Steve Valiquette. I'm John Giannone. Hank, in the pregame, you talked about the level of focus the Rangers would need in the last 8 games in general down the stretch, but certainly tonight. And I think we got the indication right away that that might have been lacking.
Yeah, Pittsburgh came ready to play. You could see already the first shift, they scored 14 seconds in. We talked about how they were getting to lose pucks in that first period, created that second goal. But again, coming off a tough loss against Columbus in a time where they need every point they could get, you just knew they were going to come out there ready to play. The Rangers got better as the game moved on. Second period, I thought was really good. Third period, they came close. But in the end, the first period kind of set the tone for this one.
I didn't know what to think because of last year when Pittsburgh had 2 games remaining. They lost to Chicago and Columbus, and Florida got in by a point. I wasn't sure if this was history repeating itself, but as Hank just said, they did lose in their previous game against Columbus, and here you go. They came back, but they were ready to go. The difference between their alert play in the first period and the way the Rangers were playing, it just didn't look to me like this was going to turn, and it was a game in which they tried to get it to turn in the second period, but for whatever reason, you're 18 seconds
But we've seen it so many times where it has turned for the Rangers. Even if they're not really in it, they don't play their best, they're able to come back. We were sitting and watching the third period. They're coming back.
Yeah.
That was the feeling. The way the game was played, second, third period, but in the end, the hole was too big. You know, the way they played in the first kind of set the tone and gave Pittsburgh a lot of confidence. But I'm still impressed the way the Rangers were able to find their game after that first period, and I like that. And we talked about between periods, going down the stretch now, 2 weeks before the playoff starts, being able to bring that energy is going to be the biggest challenge. Because right now, you start thinking about the playoffs. I know they're saying, okay, game by game, but it's hard not to. Mm-hmm. You've been playing so many games, you're getting really close. So to try to bring that energy every night now, that's going to be the key. We're
always going to talk about details at this time of year, and you can see it on the first goal because of the details by which it's a reminder when you're in your own zone, especially early in the game, you shouldn't try and throw the puck through your opponent's legs or between the space between his skates and his stick. And to me, that's just a wake-up call. You're saying to yourself, oh my goodness, I know that. I shouldn't be doing it, especially on the first shift of the hockey game. And it hurts you, and you look like you're playing from behind at that point because passes weren't connecting, and Crosby was skating. And he took ownership in that first period over the Panarin, Trocheck, Lafreniere line. That's why in the second period, Laviolette started the Zibanejad line. But they were just steamrolling them, and it was hard. And this is a wedge here that we see Crosby use all the time. He's got more goals this season than anybody else in the league, scoring that way. So you got to get inside on him, under him. The Rangers weren't able to do that early.
You got to give a lot of credit to Crosby. He's 13 points in the last 6 games, and he's really carrying this team right now.
Yeah.
And part of me feels like they need a miracle to get in, but we were looking at the standings here, the games remaining for all the teams on that last playoff spot. They definitely have a chance.
They're not out of it. I thought they were, Hank. I mean it. I thought before this game, I thought they were done based on what happened in their previous game. But nobody's really taking a handle on what's going on in the Metro or anywhere else in the conference.
Yeah. So the Penguins now back to 5 out of a playoff spot, out of that wild card spot. Meanwhile, the Rangers failed to gain ground in leading both the league, still by 1 over Dallas, and the division still by 3 over the Carolina Hurricanes. 2 goals for Rust, 2 goals for Crosby. Mika Zibanejad thought he had a goal, but it was taken away early in the second period because of Chris Kreider's goal interference. Let's begin our post-game reaction inside the dressing room. Michelle Gingras with Mika Zibanejad.
Just where did it feel like things went wrong for you guys tonight?
Obviously, we, the first period that we get down 2-0. Not playing a good period, good hockey in the first. I think we cleaned some stuff up in the second. The push in the third doesn't. Maybe it comes a little bit too late, but overall, not our best game.
Did that first goal just kind of make it hard for you guys to find your flow again, get your momentum, or was it deflating at least for you?
I mean, you don't want to start off the game with a goal against your first shift, but I think we've showed that we're resilient enough to kind of put that aside and just try to hit the reset button second shift. But it's just wasn't our best, and we know it. So get to tomorrow, get a good practice in, and then get ready for Wednesday.
Did they do anything defensively, especially to make it more challenging for you as the game went on to kind of find your own game?
Yeah, I mean they obviously try to execute their game plan, but I think this is more on us and how we should. I think the forecheck is so. I think when we execute our forecheck and when we're coming together, I think that's when we get the puck back and we're able to create something in offensive zone.
So Mika Zibanejad talking about the Rangers being set back on their heels just 18 seconds in. Overall, is that about what you'd expect from an athlete after a loss?
What I'm hearing from Mika there, John, is if we bring our best, we're much better than this team. I don't want to hear anything about was their defense good or was it wasn't them, it was us. That's what Mika's saying, which is you want to take ownership over your game first, and you don't want to give too much credit to your opponent. You want to be a gracious loser. Almost never, but you want to say, no, like that's on us. Like, let's not get carried away here. We're a really good team. We believe in ourselves. We just didn't have our best tonight.
I thought for sure they would get a couple goals on the power play. They had a lot of good looks. It was just not bouncing their way. And again, setting the tone in the first for Pittsburgh, yeah, but the pushback the Rangers had in the second and in the third was good. It just didn't bounce their way, and it could have been a different result here. And that to answer that question is, to your point, it's hard when you feel like, okay, we're a little bit better here in the last two periods, but we didn't get paid for it.
Yeah, just the third loss in their last 14 on MSG ice. Rangers still the second best home team in the NHL, but they lose tonight 5-2 the final. Let's hear from defenseman Ryan Lindgren after the loss.
The guys we have, we don't like losing. We're a competitive group. Obviously it's been a pretty successful year this year, but anytime you lose, it's tough. And we had our chances tonight. I don't think we played all that bad, but didn't defend real great, especially at the start. But we're pissed off about this one, but we move on.
You're down a goal early, right? 18 seconds in or whatever. And it seems like you're just chasing all night. But then you get those two goals in the third period and you're right there. What happens then? Yeah. Like you said, it seemed like we were kind of chasing right from the start. And, you never want to do that. But, then we started to get a couple, in the third. Kind of feel the momentum come. The building got a little more lively. And, we had a chance to tie it, but just didn't happen. So, it was a good push, but just not good enough. With I know you guys are first overall. I mean, are you looking at the standings? Is that important to you to be first overall? Is it important to win the division? What's the mindset going into these games?
I think our mindset is just take it, game by game. We want to be playing good hockey right now. Obviously, there's not many regular season games left, so we just want to build. Win every game we can, and just feel good about our game going to the playoffs for sure.
What did Pittsburgh do well tonight to make it challenging for you guys from the start?
Yeah, I thought they defended really well. They're a tough team to play against every time we play them, and in their D zone, they stick to you hard, they check good, and they just don't give you much room out there, and definitely makes it tough.
Even at 37 years old, what do you say about Sidney Crosby and what he did tonight for them? Yeah, I mean, he's unbelievable. I mean, he's definitely one of the hardest guys to defend in the league. Anytime he has the puck, he's so strong on his skates. It's hard to knock him off, and his vision, the way he can make plays, everything about him. He's unbelievable, and obviously really, really tough to play against. And he was really good tonight.